All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Arachakudash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders up in Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us this truth. And the sincere peace and salutations to all the Akim pushing his word and truth and in all sincerity. To Brother Ganon from DC Church coming back at you with a quick video. And, just through the spirit, just pondering on, things that's going on, in life in general, things that you're hearing from brothers, things that you personally going through. And I just want to just go in the spirit. I don't know what the title's gonna be, so brothers gonna see it before, through the spirit, brothers gonna see it obviously when the video is posted. But right now, we just gonna go in the spirit until the title come to me. But I'm gonna jump right into the scriptures. It's Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." And what I want to go into, obviously, this is a well-known scripture that's, we hear a lot. And we always equate the scripture into Jacob's trouble, which it is, it basically, in those times of Jacob's trouble, wisdom and knowledge is what's going to keep you stable. But also in the times that we living in now and in your personal life, because, I got Sirach 2 on deck too, where it says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." So this also applies in your spiritual walk. Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge keeping you stable also applies as soon as you come and serve the Lord. And that's why, your elders, your leaders, the men that taught you, the men that come before you deserve reverence and honor, because the older you get, the more you grow in this truth, the more demons come at you. The higher you get, the higher rank you get, the more position you get, the more spiritual growth you get, the more fight, the more spiritual wickedness come and attack you, and really without the spirit of Yahweh Shemawah Shai and the wisdom of Yahweh Shemawah Shai, you will bug out, given the knowledge that we have, which is the greatest knowledge on earth. We have an answer for all of the questions that we had when we was in the world. And now we're given the answers to it. So in the fight and with the knowledge that we have now, and the fight that we constantly have to go through, to walk this straight gate, which is the path of difficulty, wisdom and knowledge is what's supposed to keep you stable. Sirach 6:19, speaking about wisdom, where it says, "Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much and labor about her, but thou shalt eat of her fruits right soon. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned, and he that is without understanding will not remain with her." Because he that is without understanding, he's going to bug out. These things that is going to attack you, because just like in the book of Job, where it says Satan is going to and fro throughout the earth, seeking whom he may devour. And brothers is getting tested. Whatever situation brothers is going through that's putting you in a form of depression, whether it's family members, your woman, your financial situation, you may have ailments, so on and so forth. Whatever brothers is going through, we basically have heard it all. Like the elder Pashah always say, you're not special, and nor do you want to be. Like the Elder Kasab always say, it's not like you sitting here praying for, you're not praying for tribulation, but when it comes, you praying to have the spirit and the mental fortitude to overcome it, you know. But like it says in Sirach 6, she is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. He's going to go aside. Why? Because he's going to bug out. Wisdom and knowledge is not keeping him stable in whatever he's going through, you know. Verse 22, it says, for wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifested unto many. Give ear, my son, and receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel, and put thy feet into her fetters, and thy neck into her chains. You know, we have to become prisoners of her. You know, you have to learn of this truth. You have to grow. You know, you have to, you know, really meditate upon these words, man. The scriptures say, blessed is he that readeth, you know, blessed is he that readeth, because you once you get these words, and that's why certain brothers have chapters that's near and dear to their heart, you know, because you went and you searched and you researched and you kind of you know was built up with these words, with especially some more than others. You know, you have more familiarity with certain scriptures more than others. But let me just keep going. It says, bow, being a prisoner to her. You know, I lost my train of thought, but you being a prisoner to wisdom, so that when you find yourself in certain situations, because I, you know, just speaking about my own testimony, you know, coming into this truth, there was plenty of times where our elders were saying, you know, brothers got to get this, brothers got to get this faster than we got it, because you got men coming up under you, you know, and you're going to have a lot of situations to where as though you're, the words that you speak in these epistles, these videos that you make, the words that you speak out there at the camp, at the altar, you know, these words are what you got to live by, and you have to apply it. So now in your walk, in this truth, you're going to have to, you're going to be tested with situations where wisdom is trying you, you know, and that's what this chapter, that's why I got this chapter. Wisdom is going to try you, and the way you pass or fail a particular test is if you're applying wisdom correctly, you know, if you're using proper discernment. Like if you if a matter is brought to you and you have to judge that matter, do you react based off of one side of the story, or do you sit back and say, okay, Khan, and wait to hear the other side before you cast a judgment? No matter how you feel about a particular person or not, you know, those things prove if you truly have wisdom or not, being a prisoner unto wisdom, you know, because where it says, and put thy feet into her fetters and thy neck into her chains, bow down thy shoulder and bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. You know, if that's really you, which the elect, the hopeful 144,000 plus the 1/3, if we are part of that number, you're going to do that. You know, you're going to become a prisoner unto her. So when a situation occurs, you know how to handle it, right? And it says, come unto her with thy whole heart, and keep her ways with all thy power. You know, it says, and keep her ways, man. In order to know her ways, you have to become a prisoner to her. You know, you gotta seek and search. What is going to say that? Verse 27. It says, search and seek, and she shall be made known unto thee. And when thou hast got hold of her, let her not go. For at the last thou shalt find rest, and that shall be turned to thy joy. You see? you're going to find rest, and it's going to be turned to thy joy, because once you apply wisdom, like using an example brothers will understand, is where the scriptures tell you to agree with thy adversary quickly. And we heard many of testimonies of where brothers have done that. You got pulled over by the police. We always use that example. And when you just do what they ask, it normally be a smooth thing. Because the scriptures say, when a man's ways pleaseth the Lord, it make even his enemies be at peace with him. You see, and applying wisdom is something that's going to please the Lord. And you're going to find favor in these situations because you have applied wisdom. And the only ones who's going to truly apply wisdom is the ones that's being prisoners unto her. Ones that's checking their ego. Ones that's checking their pride, being humble. Stand within the lot that the Lord has given you. You got your leaders. You got men that's over you, men that's giving you admonishments, men that's giving you advice. These are all tests that you're going to go through in this truth, and your level of wisdom is going to be put to the test to see if you can apply her or not. And you're going to be one or two things where it says, for at the last thou shalt find rest, and that shall be turned to joy. You see? And that shall be turned to thy joy. It's going to be that you're going to apply wisdom, and then you're going to find rest, because whatever situation you're going through, rather it's with your baby mother, rather it's with your financial situation, rather it's with your job, rather it's with whatever, man. If you apply wisdom, you're going to find your way out of your troubles, and you're going to find rest, and you're going to find joy. Or you're going to be back up to 21. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial, and he will cast her from him ere it be long. So you may hang on for a minute, speaking of, if a brother got some pride within him and he's not taking heed, like the scripture say in Proverbs 9:8. I can get that real quick. Proverbs 9:8. It says, reprove not a scorner lest he hate thee, rebuke a wise man and he will love thee. You said it says rebuke a wise man and he will love thee. Even if you don't truly understand a rebuke, and these things going to happen within your walk in this truth, you may get called out or rebuked for something that you don't necessarily recognize yourself. But if you have some wisdom within you, no matter what it is, you're going to sit back and you're going to examine it, because these type of things can hold you back, hold you back from your salvation. And that's the most important thing. Wisdom is trying you. Wisdom is testing you. So when you get her, you have a better chance at salvation. Continuing on in Sirach 6. And 29, it says, then, no, where was I? Right, 29. It says, then shall her fetters be a strong defense for thee, and her chains be a robe of glory. For there is a golden ornament upon her, and her bands are purple lace. Basically you'll be decked out and you'll be looked at as a wise man. And these are the things that's going to keep you stable even in these times, because you'll have a situation where you see brothers is all, fucked up. We spoke about this at camp. We could tell just knowing brothers' countenance, and you're supposed to know the man next to you. You're supposed to know the men that you go to war with on a weekly basis, And you can see when a brother's catching hell, when a brother's going through it, But if the brother has wisdom, is if he's been a prisoner unto wisdom, joy will come from whatever situation you have. You just have to apply that wisdom. You know, the scriptures is a guidebook for us all. You know, the scriptures is a guidebook for us all, and it has an answer for every situation. You know, so you have to search and you have to seek. You know, and the scriptures say, "Seek and ye shall find." You know, so wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. Wisdom and knowledge is being the stability of our time right now. It's keeping brothers stable. It's keeping brothers sane. You know. So yeah, man. You know, I know I was all over the place. Lord's willing, this was edifying. You know, to the hopeful elect. You know, that's pretty much all I got. You know, if I got more, you know, I'll just do another video on it. But, you know, I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. That's basically, you know, I hammered out the point. There's more to it, but, you know, I hammered out the point. You know, with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Arachakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders up in Great Millstone who ruled well and taught us his truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect.